Well, summertime fishing is something that can be a blast and we've all waited for it, but it also means there might be a crowd on our spot. Well, I did a video a few weeks ago about fishing heavily pressured lakes, and sometimes that translates to fishing in a crowd, but not always. You may go out for a Wednesday night potluck tournament and you pull up to your favorite spot and there's 5 or 6 boats there, but the rest of the week the lake isn't too heavily pressured. So I wanted to do this video in case you get out there, you finally get some time to go fishing, and there's all these boats in your favorite location. So how do we handle that? There's 3 things that I do and I have had a lot of success with over the years. First is identify that piece of cover or that little piece of structure that everybody seems to hit. And then look for something on the perimeter that's just outside of that. So if you have an amazing laydown right here in your favorite area, take a quick look and see what else is there. Is there a small little clump of weeds? Is there a rock? Is there a stump? Is there something that is less obvious that everyone else is focusing on? When those bass, especially the bigger bass that get that way because their instincts are pretty good, when they sense all that pressure, they're going to slip out usually to that next piece of cover, and that can be a dynamite place to catch a good fish when there's a lot of boats around. The second thing that I do, and I also had a video about this earlier this year, is to get that boat up on the bank and cast out to deeper water and bring your lures up in what is a very natural presentation. Bass love to pin their prey up against something so they can't escape, whether that's the surface of the water or clear up on the shoreline. If you're a shore angler, a bank angler, you've already got this one nailed and figured out. But if you fish from a boat and there's a bunch of people around, if you get up there super shallow and fish out the other way, I can almost guarantee you're going to be the only one doing that, and you might get some of the bigger bites as well. The third thing that I love to do when fishing in a crowd is slip off just a little bit deeper and drag something. My favorite lures to drag are either a Ned rig or a jig, and the reason I like to drag them is because they're down there doing their thing for a large percentage of our presentation. Everyone else might be just, pitching or flipping, casting their lures in this zone just for a short while. But when you're dragging, when you back off that shoreline a little bit, your lure is in the zone almost 100% of the time, which means your chance of a bite goes way up. You're also going to let either the wind, the natural current, or your trolling motor propel you and help you to drag that lure. If it's just a really slight wind or a really slight current, those are my favorite things to do. Just put that Ned rig out there, put that jig out there, and hold it and just let the boat kind of move you, and it's such a natural and subtle presentation. Now, if it's flat calm out there, you can set your trolling motor down really low, maybe on 10%, and do the same thing. If you're a co-angler in tournaments, you probably have been doing this already, and I've seen many co-anglers outfish their boater in the front by dragging something just off the back of the boat. And hey, if you would like to watch that video that goes into more detail about fishing backwards, and it was actually an article in Bassmaster magazine, go ahead and check this one out right here. I think you'll find it pretty interesting, and make sure to go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.